Not only that, this dude's down like a whole bunch of damn weight. You see his face right now? Do you see?
Yeah. It's wild. I'm telling you, when sidetracking all this stuff, but man, when you were like, all right, we're gonna keep going, I was like, I really did feel like that Kanye and Kobe like commercial. Like, why? You're like, more. I'm like, Jesus, man. All right. Well, how much more? More. You're like, like, okay.
Stuff,
but
man,
yeah. My daughter was like, I can see your abs. I'm like, I know, man. It's crazy. And speaking about how this ties into real estate, man, a lot of this stuff is what we talked about before, man. Like, we started at the beginning of the year at 205.9, right? Like, we're at 174, 175. That is wild. But man, my confidence is through the roof in a sense, because I know that if I just worry about today, like if I worry about whatever's a task in front of me, man, if I just keep at that every day, you'll wake up and look up and be like, man, I'm over 30 pounds down. Like, that's fucking wild. And that's kind of what I've come, like, what I like about what we're doing for aesthetic business is it's not just about like, hey, are you losing weight? It's also the side effects of losing weight, of taking care of yourself, and sitting there saying, like, when I go somewhere, I'm wearing a shirt that fits, and I know I'm presenting myself as somebody who's taking care of themselves. So it's almost like that person meets you and they start taking you a little bit more serious, because they know, like, most entrepreneurs that are about there like that, they're always disciplined in fitness and every aspect. And it kind of just gives you that people saying, like, okay, this guy's here to play. Like, he's actually about
100%, man. And shout out to Weston for this his little Stone Cold shirt. I like this, man. Thanks for this. But man, 100%, man. Like, when I'm in the deals and I go into deals, I feel super confident, and I feel like the people who deal with me know I'm confident because they see the confidence in me. And yes, all that fitness plays into effect, like you now, and not even that, just more like now you're more confident in your manifestations too. Now look at you, like, beginning of the year, you're down 30 pounds. Now you're fucking going after fucking more deals, like attacking it with aggression. You know what I mean? You have the energy, you have the stamina to do everything. Aesthetic business, real estate, the Oki boutique, it's a lot of things. You have the energy to fucking do these things now, and it's just trickling into your life, and just the consistency and discipline.
And I'll tell you this too, what's oddly weird, what I would never imagine, me just being about my fitness, like kind of how disciplined I am, or about eating. Like, we'll go out to eat somewhere and I'll be like, okay, I can only eat this. That's actually helped me getting business, because people like somebody who's fucking disciplined, man. They love it, because they're like, you don't want to eat this? Like, it's not Sunday. Like, my birthday's coming up. My birthday's coming up in like a week or so. And it's like, hey, what about this? Like, it's not on Sunday. We'll celebrate on Sunday, but that's it. Why? Because we got something to do. Like, it's not Sunday. Like, that's the time we're allowed it. People really like people that are really about what they're going to say. And I think that's just overall, like, advice to people, man. If you're going to say what you're going to do, it doesn't matter if you're a car salesman or what. People want to be around that person that's going to do what they say they do, and that can keep their word and be disciplined.
And actions speak a lot, right? So, and 100%, just, you got to just watch out for those people who just talk, right, with no action. Manifestation is nothing without action. Straight up, and that's just what it is. And I think for you, man, it's just putting everything into motion, the thought, putting everything into motion, and this is where you are. And I think next time we come on this topic, you'll probably be like three properties down easily, Yeah,
man, we're looking at, we're hustling, sitting there saying, like, hey, man, we got this. And I told my wife, like, man, every time I get a real estate deal, like, you know what, let's not use that check at all. Let's use that check for here, so that way we can go and actually get more properties. And, I think it comes down to that part where you start manifesting things, you start seeing it, then you start writing your goals down, and you start really focusing on it. And then what people don't talk about, you start getting a smaller circle of other people that are helping you feed that shit. That when we talked about it before, like, you tell them a small good news and they're like, that's awesome, man, good shit. And then you're like, yeah, we'll keep doing this. Like, we'll keep talking to these people. We'll keep doing that. And that's how you and I, when we talk, I ran this deal, a deal I'm looking at right now. And you're like, hey, here's some thoughts and stuff like that. And you're like, okay, great. But, you can't share that news with everybody else. Somebody else may be like, why would you do that? That's not this. And someone's like, okay, if you can do this, you can do that. Okay. And so I sit there and say, man, one of these things that's great is your counsel. Like, man, having a counsel system. And what we talked about before, man, you're not just a coach.
Yeah.
Shit. Where can you and I talk about real estate, fucking weight? I can even send you videos about, hey, what do you think about my filmmaking? You're like, hey, I would change this. Here's some, it is wild the kind of the conversations and the friendships you have when you start just kind of getting
100%, man. I'm actually helping 3 clients right now buy homes, right? Because they don't understand the language, right? So they're like,
Mm-hmm.
Coach, I don't know what the fuck is all this, you know? And it's cool that I can just be like, yo, okay, this is what they're looking for. Let me see your, you know, your stuff. And I look, I'm like, okay, see if you can negotiate this, that, right? And I love that I can do that. Or this is what your rate is. I think you can get 3 more quotes. You know, how many
Yep.
quotes you got? 1, 3 more quotes. Let them fight for you. Right? You know, so it's
Yep.
things that people don't know, and it helps them out. So I love the fact that I can do that. And I'm a jack of all trades. Again, a lot of people don't know, like, HVAC technician by trade, right? So fuck, I could bust down your air conditioning unit if I wanted to, but I'm not. Right? So it's cool, you know?
Yeah. Well, especially that I think sometimes what you don't talk about is some of the things about the financial little stuff that we talked about too, where you put me on to the whole life stuff.
Yeah.
You know, those are some things, man, when you're talking about helping somebody out and you're like, I can help you lose weight. That is one small facet. But when someone's saying, hey, let me talk to you about this, and that, and you're like, what is that? What is whole life? And you start going down that rabbit hole and you explain it to your wife and she's looking at you like, how is that even legal?
Right?
Like, how is that not illegal?
I can make you lose
right?
weight. Cool. I can make you build your own bank. What? My own bank? Right?
Right.
Yeah, I can do that. You can help you do that. I actually got two homeboys. I put them on right now. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Cameron Klemzeski right now. That dude's a fucking beast. You know, shout out to him. You know, yeah.
And that's what I think is great, man. Is like, you know, when we're talking about aesthetic business, and we started this journey already, and I think people are hopefully starting to see what it's. These are small pieces to it, but the overall one is you're helping people not just lose weight, not gain confidence, but how can we get wealth? And you know, there's real estate, and the thing about you too as well is like, let's say I was like, hey, I'm going to do this with not real estate, but with this, you're happy. Yeah. Great. Then you sit and say, here's my advice. Maybe here's this, here, look at this one. And I think that's what people don't understand, man. Like, get you somebody that can help in all areas, which is, I mean, shit, how many people, you know, could sit there and say, let's talk about a whole life policy. Yeah. Let's talk about real estate, right? Let's talk about filmmaking. Like, it's just one of those, like, you know, pretty much a unicorn. We're going to put a unicorn on you and sit there and say, you're one of a kind.
I appreciate that, man.
So
I appreciate that, man. Again, like, I feel like I'm in my own lane. And I'm just more, I can't be limited, you know, and I used to shun myself a lot because everybody knows I'm super private, you know, but I used to be like too damn private. You know what I mean? You're too fucking private because if it wasn't for social media, I can like totally disappear, you know?
Yeah, people ask me, are you still alive?
Yeah, like no bullshit. Like I can like totally disappear. So, but I had to sit back and be like, you know what? I can't be selfish with this knowledge that I have, and people actually need help and genuine people is really hard to come by, right? And like, no bullshit. You don't know who's happy for you or not. So I tell my clients now, like, listen, think of me as like your personal council member in your brain, right? You have a whole bunch of council members that are here for you. Like, you're the center of attention, right? And we're just sitting here, right, giving you advice. I am your fitness counselor, right? And all I want is your health and well-being intact. I don't want shit from you, right? But if you ask me, you know, about finance and stuff, I can be that for you too. But you also have your person you go to for your spiritual person or your financial advisor. People have these certain people in their lives that they go to, right? That's just natural that you talk to people. So why not just be that person for you? Right, one of your council members, right, that are just here, team you, period, in all aspects, you know. So that's just what that's what I offer now these days. And again, shows and stuff like that, they're great, but we got life to deal with, you know.
Yeah. Is that something you've kind of thought about, like, you know, because like there's people who don't have this knowledge, they don't know where to start. Is that something you've thought about, like, hey man, I would like to lose weight. I don't want to compete, but all these other areas are where my main interest is at: real estate, wealth, you know, infinite banking system, the whole concept. Is that something you kind of thought about? Like, hey, I can help people out, and that's where our focus is as more business side?
100%, man. Yeah, I definitely want to start doing that again. I want to. I am going to create like with this aesthetic business, and that's what I am going to be doing and start offering just mentorship, mentorship and setup and stuff like that to get you started. But I'm only going to take a certain amount of people a month, right? A year, right? Maybe 5 people a year. And it's going to cost some penny for my time to set you up, right? And put you in different contacts and stuff. So definitely, if you're interested in that, like, contact me and we'll get you set up and get you on some financial stuff and do a 6-month program. And it's going to cost you, man, but health is wealth.
Shit, not only is health is wealth, like that's why I say, like, man, like I've lost 30 pounds, started a t-shirt business. We do real estate. We're doing now multiple like podcasts. We're doing and again, like you said earlier, man, like the amount of like energy I need to be able to produce those things, man. And also I'm waking up at 5 a.m. or 4:59 a.m. to do market stuff for the options trading for the day before we start anything else. Right. That is, we're getting 5 to 6 hours a day of sleep, but we're doing it constantly every day. Like you need a lot of energy to do that. And if I don't eat right, if I don't sit there and say like, hey, I'm eating this one now, do I go to bed hungry? 100%. As of right now, right now we're going that way. But when I take off my shirt, when I'm walking around the house without a shirt, or whenever I'm getting out of the shower, I'm not quickly walking by the mirror because I don't want to see I don't want to see it. You're kind of sitting there saying like, oh man, we got some abs going on. Like, oh, we got we got those things. And you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. Like there comes that point where it's really sitting there saying like, what is a benefit? Someone's like saying, hey, can I what do I get out of this? Like being confident is one fucking thing, but being able to walk into deals and have that ability, because you know yourself, like, because I can put in the work, doing that stuff. And then also other people want to be around you. They also want to work with you, because if you're able to do this, I already know you can work over here because you showed up every day for yourself. And that's the hardest part, is to pay yourself back in fitness and health and all stuff, because we take ourselves for granted. I love that you're going to be doing a mentorship, man. I don't know if we could announce that. I guess we'll do that. And then, man, shout out to anyone who takes that shit, man. Really, it has changed my perspective on a lot of things.
Yeah. The mentorship though,
I'm
let
happy.
y'all know when we do this, you'll be working with Mike and I, right? So just letting y'all know, you'll be working with, it's not going to just be me. It'll be mostly me, but Mike will be involved with things and stuff like that, giving his 2 cents, just because he's on the ground and stuff like that with the real estate, whatever you want to get into. But 100% with that. But you know what I love about the fitness thing the most about it is because it conditions you to take the blows, right? Because it's a stressful life, right? Entrepreneur is a stressful life, man. No bullshit, right? But it also prepares you to take the blows from the negative people. It prepares you to take the blows from whoever you're around. Like you're just so much more calloused, when when you feel good about yourself. Things just bounce off a lot easier, if that makes any sense. Right?
Yeah. And especially, man, like most people were like, kind of like, why are you doing this? What are you doing this? And then when we got to 25, 30 pounds, people were like, oh man, you look different. And then, after all, people are like, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to yourself? You don't need to do that. And then now they're looking at you and be like, hey, what'd you do?
All the time.
What are you doing here?
All the time. What's your programming? Right? What are you eating? Is I need to eat salads all day? Like, it's ridiculous. It all comes down to hard work, if you want to do it or not, right? If you care about your well-being, then fucking do it. If not, nobody's coming. Yeah. Nobody's coming to do this shit for you. There's no magic pill. One day you're going to have to cross this bridge, or the doctor's going to tell you have to cross this bridge. Which one do you want?
Nope. And normally when he tells you that means you probably have a kid on the way, and they already know you're not going to make it to the kid. Like I have a friend that happened to, man. Hey, you got to change everything about you.
Damn.
Like, fuck. You know what I mean? Imagine you're having a kid, or you have a kid, a 2-year-old, a 5-year-old, and someone's saying like, hey man, you got to change everything about you if you want to like see this kid at graduation.
And honestly, America has that problem way. I think it was about 42 to 49%, 48% of America's obese. It's ridiculous. But supersize me,
Well, again, I'm glad we talked about this mentorship, man. I think there's going to be something that people can get a lot from it. Like I said, you're, in my eyes, a unicorn. It's so rare to have a conversation with somebody and be like, hey, I'm into this, I'm into that. And you sit there and say like, hey, here's this and that. And then even if not, somehow, if you don't know about it, I know a guy over here that, because I'm kind of like interested in it too. So I know these guys. I think that's very powerful, man, is not only having somebody who doesn't look at themselves as a guy who's going to help you lose weight, just to say, man, I'm here for your counsel. I'm here for life counsel. I'm here for life. I'm not here just for you to lose 5 pounds and I'm out the door, or I'm here to get a picture of you losing weight and put it on my social media so I can get more clients. Not calling anybody out though, but we know what happens, right? But one thing about you that nobody knows is you're never sharing anyone's like, hey, I got this person to get a property. Don't ever know that stuff. And I think that is the part where you're sitting there saying, I'm not even here to get more people. I'm just here to help you for you. And I think once you find people like that, man, they're gems. You got to take care of them. Got to keep them in your circle. But glad you're going to be doing this, man. I think people can really benefit from this one. And I've seen you evolve throughout the years, and the Q I know back then to the Q I know now, man, it's been a great transition.
Like I tell people all the time, I'm like, dude, I am nothing like I used to be. Like total transformation, you know what I mean? So, but it's in me. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Yep. Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else,
man,
brother?
I'm good, man. It's been a good podcast and stuff, man. So let's do it, bro.